Good morning, everybody. It's Christina from Christina's Art Corner. Today I'm going to work in this Which Color Do You Like book. This is the one that you all voted on in the community tab on YouTube. So we're going to go ahead and start. Now I'm having some issues with my back as a result of wearing a brace on one foot. It kind of made my back wonky. So I haven't had trouble with my back in quite a while, but that seemed to have unequalized my gait, which he was doing one brace on my foot to see if that worked instead of giving me both. And it had made my feet uneven because there's a slight rise with the brace. So anyway, I'm going to try to get through as much of it as I can without hurting myself. So it may be two parts. I may save it and just do it all in one, but you'll figure it out, I am sure, what I wind up doing. So I'll talk through some. I'll probably time-lapse some so we can get through this fun page here. It says, I like rainy days. Now I'm using my Paul Rubens Qiaomei palette, and I'm using these three brushes. The Grabie number 3, the Hemi number 4, and then the Princeton Velvet Touch round 4. So I have these three here that I think will work. And then I have my jar of water, and I have my little bottle to wet my paints. And then something I didn't mention in my review of this palette before was that there's this little stick here on the side, and it's so handy because you just take it and put it inside and pop out the palette. And I didn't realize that when I was reviewing it. That's a really cool feature. Let me turn these around so I can see the colors better. All right. And then I'll put my palette here, and I'll put my towels there, put this tool back. And let's see, I think I'll start with my yellows and see what we can get. There's some lighting here. It's a bright, bright yellow. You know, I might want to get a little bit of the white to kind of tone that down a little bit. We'll see how that works. Okay, so there's a halo around this lamp. So I want to go, it's all the way down here. So I'm just going to go around this a little bit, and then there's like the darker portion of the halo, which will require a little bit of an orange. This is the cadmium yellow. And so I'm just going to do this halo over here, and it goes something like this. Okay, and then I think I want to bring this yellow out a little bit. Okay. All right, so we have that so far, and then on this coat has yellows and oranges and a little pops of green and purple. So I think we'll go ahead and get some of that done here on the raincoat. I've been wanting to get this started since Monday, and I'm so sorry I didn't get it started when I said I would. I don't like not being able to commit and then not be able to do it, so I apologize. Struggling medically a little bit. It's not fun. Not fun. Some of you are saying, no, I can't believe you're having any issues. I thought you were about 30. No, I'm going to be 52 in March. So I'm definitely of the age where I'm going to have some issues. And I'm accepting of that for the most part, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't get you down, you know. That's part of it, I think. Sadly. Part of growing older. We have some orange over here into the hood. And then this part here. Okay. And then down here we have this orangey yellow down this part. And then there's a little bit up here beneath the pocket. And then on the pocket. And the sleeve has that color in it. And then we have, let's say, midline down the arm area and a little bit above the pocket and towards these buttons, and then on the buttons. Okay. All right. And then that is a turquoise on the hood. Let me do a little mixture here. Oh, that was a lot. I hope I need that color elsewhere. I do. I see where I can use it. Okay. Let's see if this will be all right. Yeah, it's a little darker than they have, but that's okay. All right, and then there's purple in the back of the raincoat hood part. So let's see here. We've got an indigo. Guess I'm gonna have to make my own little purple here. Yeah. We'll make purple. Okay. And that's going inside here. And I just need to stop that from bleeding into the hanger here. And then I'll go back over that blue. Not a problem. Watercolor can be forgiving. All right, let's get into some of the green that's in this shirt or coat, I meant to say. Right in here. Where else do we have? A little bit down here. Okay. Go back in a little more with, well, tell you what, I'm going to take some of this yellow and put it into the green. Yeah. That's going to work out. Don't want green in that portion. I just tap out a color if I wind up getting it somewhere I don't want. let's see here. And this little bucket or cup has this color in there. So let's do that. And then it's got, let that portion dry. And then this Rainy has some of its own little blue. It's a little muted though, so I'm gonna try just a touch of black to get that muted blue. Actually, I can use that for this umbrella portion here. Okay, and then let's go in and do this. And I want to leave a little room to be able to make the lettering yellow, which is what they have pictured. When I mean they, it's really Ko Eun Jung, the illustrator. Okay. Now I can go in on these sides here and get that yellow. And then there's a little bit of pink here on the edge. And that'll tame down. I'm gonna do the handle and let that dry a little bit. Okay, so let me do a bigger portion like the umbrella. So let's get this going. And maybe a touch of the crimson hue. And then let's water that down. Let me push that up so you can see me mixing. Okay. Just going to put some white in there. Okay. So let's go in here. And then there's a little bit of white in the seams. So we'll leave a little bit of room for that. And then it's much darker here, so I'm gonna try to get that going here. And then there's a little bit of bluey purple on the end here. Okay. Now I see, excuse me, a little bit of orange. A little bit. Yeah. There we go. Just a hint of that orange is in here, and then I'll cover it with the rest of the pink. Okay. And then there's a lighter pink up here at the top. Okay. Now, I missed a little blue part here, so I'm going to take some off if it's not too late. Okay. Get a little bit of blue in here. Need a proper blue. Okay. And then and then down here. And then our pink goes in here. All right. Now this tealy color here looks like it's in this area here. I've actually got some green area too. Just blend that. All right. And then we have a darker section here. Get that going in there. All right, so this blanket here is some orangey yellow. All right, so let's go in here. And it gets a little lighter, so I'm going to add the yellow right on the page. Okay, probably could add just slightly some reddy pink here, because I noticed that that color's a little bit in here. Let me just tone it down some. There we go. All right. So I'm going to take a little bit of that orange and start lining this area here on the pocket. Okay, we've got some of that on the shoulder. And then we have it over here near the hoodie. Down in the corner here. We've got a couple of dots of the orange over here. Okay, the rest of that's really kind of a lime green and white, so I'm going to allow that to dry first before I try to do that part. All right, so these boots down here, they're a dark purple. So I'm going to put some blue in here and also a little black. And see here. All right. And then it has some highlights of orange. Let's get that in here. Okay, let's make this a little darker. And then over here, it goes all the way to the toe. All right. And then there's kind of a really light purple inside the shoe. So I'll leave that there. And there's a little slight teal in there. So we've got our boots. Now, what else can I block in? I've got, let's see here. I've got this dark, I'm gonna try to do her hair. She's facing a fire, so we're gonna have a little lighter color over here. And then it gets darker moving over here. So I'm gonna leave that for just a little bit. So that we have sections in the hair. Let me do a little bit of the bun. Okay, so we'll do that. And then inside the fireplace, we have some glowy parts. And that goes all the way down to the umbrella and her book, and on the other side of her. It also goes into this section here. We've got some orange bits here. There's also a little bit of pink. Okay. And right off these logs, we've got some darker colors of the red, and then we have distinct orange. Okay, I did a little bit off camera. I did the orange in the boot here. that I think I need to just lighten a little bit and blend it. And maybe let that purple kind of darken that orange some. And then I did a little bit around the umbrella. I've got some watermarking here that I'm not completely thrilled with, but it is watercolor, so there's that. All right, so I want to get into a lighter purple and get that in here. Let's see here. Okay. And that extends to over here. There's a little pink in it. And then from the top here on this pillow, and then we have just a little bit of pink here. And then this purple goes up a little bit. And then there's yellow here. I can work on that some more if I need to. I'm probably gonna have to get a little brighter yellow. Just let that bleed into there. And then I did do, oops, there's some water. I did do some little yellow highlights. And I'm just gonna make these a little darker. Okay. All right. All right, so we have kind of a yellow orange in these flowers. I did the purple off camera. A little bit of orange in these, so I gotta get that in there. Okay. And then I want to get the hair going here. and finish up on these little strands. Okay, now her face wound up being a little bit too red here. I'm gonna see if I can't wash that out some. With some white. Got a hair in there. Okay. All right. So her outfit. Let's see, before I go to the outfit, let me maybe do the green. And some of these leaves. We have some lighter ones and darker ones. Just kind of alternate. And then go in with the darker. Okay, I think I'm gonna finish up as much as I can. I've got a low battery happening on my phone for filming, so I'm gonna try to finish up here. I went ahead and cleared off my palette to give me a fresh start here, and I'm just gonna go in a few places here and touch up what I can. Okay, I need to work on the cat's stripes. Okay, I think we're at the point where we can do some Posca work. Let's see here. Let me just make sure we're good. We're good. Okay. So I have a couple of things that are wet here, but I want to go in and create some white highlights. All right. Where else? We have a little white over the book, and we've got some white highlights around here. Got a couple here. And then over by the windows, okay. And then I'm just creating my own there because I made it a little bit dark. The thing with these really pigmented watercolors is kind of hard not to have that more dark feel. And we've got some little dashes here on each of the bricks. And we have a few highlights in her hair. one down by the boot. We've got a couple highlights there. Okay. Other than this mess up here I made down here, I think we're done. Okay, so that's our final picture. Let me go ahead and move the paints. So here it is. Here is our final picture. I think it turned out pretty well. I do have some colors that are slightly different than hers. But yeah, overall I think it turned out well. Definitely for having aching back today and feet and all the things. I think we did pretty good. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give me a like. And if you're new, I would love if you would subscribe and be a part of our coloring and art community. You all have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.